What's up guys, this is Rich from Easy Knuckles, and today I'm going to explain the V2 versus our V3. I'll start off with the V2 since that's what came first. So with the V2, essentially these two holes will go directly into the spindle, and these two holes will hold the lower ball joint. So I'm going to go ahead and take this lower ball joint and stack it right here, just like that. So there's going to be a bolt and a nut that will secure the lower ball joint onto this knuckle, and these two bolts will go right here into the spindle, and that'll pretty much hold this knuckle onto the car, just like that. So the V2 is designed for people that just want straight results and want as much seat time as possible. It doesn't require any other modifications other than just getting a good set of coilovers and having the right offset front wheel. So you typically want to get a lower offset wheel just so that you don't have any clearance issues to where the wheel is rubbing on the control arm or the caster arm. With that said, this knuckle is pretty much the easiest thing that you can do to gain angle. So with our V2 product, we're essentially moving the spindle over about 32 millimeters from here to here. So we're shoving the spindle over to here. Traditionally, it would be stuck right along this line, but we're moving it over by 32 millimeters to gain some track width. And this will actually add an additional -3 degrees of camber. Now, with drifting, you kind of want to be in the -4 to -5 range. That way your wheels will be parallel to the ground at full lock. You don't want to have understeering or oversteering. So this is kind of like a bonus. We also added a bump steer correction, so your tie rod's not kinked up or at an awkward angle. We dropped it so that it's parallel with the lower control arm and that you won't have any swaying or pulling feel. We also added these guide pins here so that it'd be a lot easier for you to install. You don't have to shuffle a bunch of parts or try to find out where the hole is. It just lines up and bolts on. Now, we have had quite a number of people installing these wrong. You do have to look at your owner's manual to see what the torque specs are. I found out that it's about 82 to 85 pounds. Now you should be torquing this properly. You shouldn't be impacting it or just doing it by hand. This is a crucial part of installing this part. All right, now moving on to the V3. Essentially, they look similar. They share the same specification because all we did was chop off this side right here. We just chopped off this side of the V2, and that's how we came with our V3 product. So the benefit of the V3 product is you can maximize the amount of angle that you can get on this chassis. This angle kit's made for people that want to have more angle later on. You don't necessarily need to do a lot of upgrades right away. You can just use this product as is. It gives you the same amount of angle as the V2 out of the box. It just doesn't give you that additional negative camber. Now, if you wanted more track width and more camber, you'd have to pair the V3 with some extended lower control arms. We do offer that service. We extend them about 40 millimeters, but you also have to modify your steering rack. Now, the front subframe has these two brackets that hold the steering rack together, and essentially all you're gonna do is cut that bracket off, flush mount that to the subframe, and that'll shorten or move the steering rack forward about 20 to 25 millimeters. Now, doing that will prevent any binding issues that you may have, because if you don't move that steering rack forward, you're just gonna have this awkward reversed pitch from the tie rod to the knuckle. So with the V3, all you're gonna do is, it's just a sandwich plate between the spindle and the ball joint. So you're just gonna take the ball joint, slide that in there, and then you're just gonna run these two bolts to go into the spindle. So it's just like the V2, it's except for you're not offsetting the spindle by 32 mil. It's just going directly into the spindle, like so. Bam. So I hope this video helps a lot of people decide on which kit they want to run and explain the differences between the two kits. The major difference is the V2 is something that gives you direct results without having to change anything else. And the V3 are for people that want the same angle, the amount of angle as the V2, but might want to get more angle later on, where you would add additional arms such as extended LCAs, front subframe mod, adjustable caster arms to push that steering wheel forward a little bit so that you wouldn't have any rubbing on the firewall. So there's a little bit more things that you have to buy for the V3 if you want that crazy angle, but it's definitely not necessary. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to PM us, DM us, call us, text us, fax us, whatever you have to do to get to us. We're more than happy to answer any questions or to clarify anything that you might be confused on.
Well, thanks for watching this video, and I hope this helped out a lot of you. Till next time, guys.